accomplishments on your belt, and I'm pretty sure the accomplishments have not, stopped. That is why you're here to tell us, even more that's going to be happening. Tell us about the teaching aspect of yourself. Dive a little bit into, your the professional aspect of you as a teacher, because we're talking about Plaisance Academy. Before we get into Plaisance, we want to find out, about you a bit more, and you specifically mentioned teaching. I'm assuming, and we will get into that, Plaisance Academy does have something to do with teaching. Rope us in a bit of your involvement and your interaction and your part as teacher and teaching, and what we can expect from you as we dive a bit more into Plaisance Academy.
Okay, so I'm into the early childhood space. I'm an early childhood leader, and I train teachers to run great programs. So when I talk about getting trained in nursing and early childhood, my part of that industry was more in the leadership and creating great space for children. So I do had to do teaching components, but that is not my forte. My forte is leadership in early childhood. So I pretty much versed can speak to how to run programs of excellence.
All right. And of course, right now, we're talking about with Plaisance Academy. You're going to, of course, bring that aspect into Plaisance, and of course, a bit more as we were talking about Plaisance Academy. I'm wondering if I could rope in our online guest, Doctor. Doctor, are you there with us? Can you hear us loud and clear? Tell us, give me a thumbs up, and good afternoon to you. Welcome to DBS Live.
Hey, Joseph. I'm hearing you loud and clear.
All right.
Hey, Chrissy. Hi. So I'm
wonderful.
Yeah, good
All
to
right.
join you on your listening audience.
Yes, thank you for taking some time of the schedule. I'm sure you had to probably do a bit of rearranging of your clients who are coming in, your patients, just to talk about this very, very, very important aspect of education, the Plaisance Academy. I want the people to also get a feel of who you are as well. Tell us a bit, a little summary, a small summary biography about yourself, as we dive a bit more into Plaisance Academy.
Yeah, Joseph. Thanks for that opportunity. My name is Emanuel Finn. I'm a dentist here in the Washington, D.C. area. And talking about rearranging my schedule, yes, I did work for lunch so I could accommodate you and your wide listening audience. So actually, the pleasure is mine. So I was born and raised in La Plaine. Actually, to be more specific, Joseph, I was born in Plaisance, La Plaine.
Okay.
And Plaisance is a hamlet of La Plaine.
Okay.
I don't know if you know La Plaine very well. It's southeast for your listeners. If you head towards Laron, to the east is the Atlantic Ocean, and to the north is Cawdor.
Okay.
And,
yes.
Just a stone throw from the Laron River is Plaisance. So I went to my first school. Really was at one-room school in Plaisance. And so Christy, my wife, obviously liked that name. We've been to Plaisance a few times. And also Plaisance is a city in southwest France, right at the foothills of the Pyrenees Mountains. And also Plaisance is a town in the Cajun country, southwest Louisiana as well. So Plaisance is really an old estate in La Plaine, bordering the Laron River. But the name rings well, Plaisance. And so we went along with that.
All right, sir. So now that we have a small biography from both of you all, let's dive into what we have come here for. Plaisance Academy. First of all, what is Plaisance Academy? Or dive us a bit more of what is Plaisance Academy? Who's going to take the first shot?
So
you or
yes.
Doctor? Okay, take the first shot. Yes.
Yeah, so Plaisance Academy is an early childhood program serving children between the ages of 1 year, which we call toddlers, all the way to 5, and eventually we will be adding the primary years of 6 to 12. So what we will be doing is just learning with a difference. I grew up here. I mean, my education was great, and as the times are changing, on my frequent visits, I see that our learning style is not changing with the times. And since we run a successful program in Washington, D.C., and we see the results, the students that are graduating from our program are doing phenomenal, we figured that we could, take this back to our homeland, Dominica. So we're bringing learning with a difference where children can learn through play. I know here in Dominica we take learning seriously, which learning is seriously, but learning should be fun. What we see is children are stressed all day from doing work and not enjoying. They go to school because they have to and not because they want to. So we want to bring that back, joy in learning from a very early age, as early as 1 year old, and as hopefully to take it as far as 12-year-olds and even beyond if it permits in terms of the results that we're seeing. So here at Plaisance, we're going to have the children do a lot of hands-on. They will be learning the numbers, the colors, and all the curriculum that is set by the standards, Dominica Early Childhood Standards, but we're making it more fun. Plaisance means playful, joyful, pleasant, heartful. We want children to say, Mommy, I want to go to school even on the weekend. So that's what we're going to be bringing, joy in learning, and all this is going to be accomplished through play. And the way we have Plaisance set up, we'll have it open to the public on Monday, is for parents to come and see. Kids are learning through reality, what we call reality, real things. We're going to use a lot of things from nature, pine cones, branches, sticks, maybe whatever trees or we can find in the environment. We're going to use that to help the children count, to help the children sort, to help the children do sequencing. So everything that is required at that age, we're going to try to indulge a little bit of nature into it and make it fun. We also will be doing afternoon programs, especially for after school, from 1 to 6, 1 to 4, 1 to 5, whatever the parent desire. And this will have what we call STEAM clubs. So it will entail science, technology, engineering, arts, math. The kids, we will help them with their homework, and when they're done with their homework, we'll have them create things to help them feel the joy of even learning. And the whole objective is to help support them in what they're learning in school, but bring joy to it so they can be excited about what they're learning.
Right. Sounds very, 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 very exciting.
Yes.
They're learning with a difference. I want to ask a challenge. What may seem to be a challenging question, probably to you and to Dr. Emanuel. Somebody listening right now and they're saying, well, my children went through the early childhood education system here, and they came out okay enough, and they came out good. They're intelligent, they're bright. But in your view, is there something probably wrong currently with the way in which the current system of early education is in the country, that Plaisance had to kind of step in to bring something different to or offer something different in a different way?
Yes, like I said, I grew up here. I think I did very well, but we have not changed with the times, right?
Okay.
We have not changed it. So what we're bringing is for kids to, what I've seen is kids lack no books, a basic thing like books, engagement, like teacher engagement with children, whatever it is they're interested in. What Plaisance is doing is bringing things to spec children's curiosity. especially children who are not exposed to these things, so it will keep them thinking, right? We are a product of our environment. The more we're exposed to, the more inquisitive we become, and we want to delve more into what it is that we're seeing. So when we say with a difference, we're bringing to kids how to expand, their horizons, their way of thinking, their way of learning. What's wrong with the system? Nothing's wrong with the system. It's just too rigid. We want to bring fun and joy into learning. That's the difference. And today's children growing up, we have a lot of kids on the spectrum, kids that have what we call differential learning. They can't learn sitting at a desk and writing. They want to explore. So these are some of the things. We want the kids to have tactile things that give them different feels, different smells, different listening. So that's the difference, bringing in all these components that are far-fetched. Some kids are naturally born that way, they get it.
Yeah.
Some kids need the actual, what we call reality, the reality in their hands, so they can make the association. So that's what the difference is. Having kids who learn differently. Not every child can sit at a desk and write. Some children want a free runner up and down. A child want to learn their numbers. They don't have to sit and recite it. You can have them count blocks. You can have them count oranges or pine cones or leaves or bottle covers or whatever they can relate to. That's the difference we're talking about. Okay. Giving them more hands-on project-based things that they can relate to and expand their imagination.
All right. Yes, doctor. Yes. Go ahead, doctor. Go ahead.
Jump in here. In reality, the last 40 years, there have been a wide body of knowledge how to be more productive, how to be more efficient in education. I don't have to tell you the advent of the internet and today, AI. All right. In the next 10, 15 years, you probably have to stay in your bedroom doing your show. You know what I mean? Lying down on the bed. And when AI is doing everything for you. So I think it's time for us to start to pivot. So the issue of, is anything wrong with our system? No, I think I'll tell folks, I had a wonderful education, whether wonderful early childhood education, but times have changed, right? Times have changed. Everybody has a cell phone, everybody has a handheld gadget.
Yeah. And
so we can't stick with the old tried and true method because we're going to be left behind, right? So I think this is what Plaisance Academy is saying, that let's build on the old, but folks, we can't get stuck in the mud, right? Sure. We got to pivot, and this is what we are saying. And this is what, the research bears that. And I think Master can talk about the success we've had in Washington, D.C. And so this is what we are saying.
All right, so very, very a modern approach, or a much more modern approach to, like you said, Doc, not out with the old, but sort of throwing in or tweaking or throwing a scraping of the old paint, putting on a fresh modern paint on what is there, and like you said, piquing the interest of the young ones. I want to ask a question. At the very beginning, you indicated that it's going to be from 1 year to 5 years. Why has that particular age range you all want to start off with? Why not, let's say, just go 1 to 12 one time? Why stop at 5 and then later on, some more, like my 5-year-old daughter, she'll be like, Dad, Plaisance is the place, and like you said, you get her engaged, and she wants to be there, and then I'm stuck with her at 5 years old, and I'm like, okay, yes, she has that, catch. She's been caught, and not yet 6 to 12, which would be primary school. Doc and Marcia here would be primary school, but why for now stop at 5? Why not just sort of go full throttle from 1 to 12? At least up to, let's say, the high school. It's been you would have like a good enough strong case study where you can say we didn't stop at 5 and let's a different approach or a different aspect of of the system maybe change, or okay, well, let me stick at the word change. So I'll leave it up to you all to answer
Yes.
it. Yeah.
So you build the kids learn best from birth to 8 years old, right? So we figure that starting off now, people don't know who we are. So let's build that solid foundation. When you build a house, you have all these great ideas. You don't start from the top, right? You start from the bottom. So we're trying to build that foundation. When people learn who we are, we definitely we build that foundation. You see the results of how the kids are really catching on, how the kids are excelling beyond where they were. Our goal is to go and we may even go to high school as we go through, so we okay, let's build a foundation. As we do that, we can add a grade or two as we go, because we're not going to stop here. We just wanted to start, let people get a feel for who we are, help them children with the after school program, and when they see, they're like, wow, I really want my child to come full time rather than part time. So that's why we're starting with that early age, and then definitely next term we can start with the older age group.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All
We're
right.
trying to build a foundation.
Yeah.
And,
Doc,
and also,
Doc, you want to rope in
and also,
on
Joseph,
that part?
I
Yes,
think
yes, Doc.
we're building on data. You need data today to assess. No data, no evaluation, nothing. So if grade 1 to early childhood, the data is there. You have series of goal points which you test and again, and I think that's what it is. So again, it's a computer age, right?
Yes.
It's and so need no data, no results. And based on that, as Marcia said, you can't build a skyscraper. It's going to come tumbling down, right? You need a very solid foundation, and also you need people to be behind you, not because they like you, because you have a product, and it has to be sound, based on data, based on actuality, not based on a feel good. And the other thing I would like to say, you want to make learning fun. I don't know about you, Joseph. What's should I call it DJ Halaboy or
Yes,
which one you
yeah.
prefer?
Yeah. Anything for you. Anything goes. Normally, well, drive time.
Halo Boy is
Drive time.
pretty-
It's
pretty-
DJ Halo
pretty
Boy.
fun.
Yes. So drive time about now would be DJ Halo Boy. I know the type of interview that we're having right now. It's a serious interview because we're starting the new academic year in about a week and a half, and so yeah. But anything, Doc, anything.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, I've heard about you. This is the first time I'm really interacting with you. DJ Halaboy. Another interview, I'll ask you how you got that name. We'll leave that for later. So, yeah. So then the research has to bear it out, right? And also, of course, the evaluation from the parents. And then you go small. You build. You start small. You build strong, and then you flourish like a flower in the garden, right? So that's what it is. And then the other thing is that if you have a cohort of students who are moving along with you, and also parents, because obviously it takes a village, it takes a village to build a child, if you may. It takes a village to raise a child, as an old African proverb. It's the same concept here. Obviously, we live in modern times, Yeah.
Definitely. I want to pull back quite a bit back to I made a note of it here, and we see it more prevalent right now. Marcia, you mentioned it earlier on, and a lot of students, a lot of children are, as you said earlier on the spectrum. In that, for those who understand what the spectrum is, they will understand. And there are not many educational institutions who have the capabilities to handle students, or maybe even to be able to identify students or young children or children on who are, like you said, on the spectrum. For the purpose of our listeners, of course, can you just give us just a sort of a brief definition of the spectrum, what you meant by that earlier on, and the ability of Plaisance Academy to be able to identify children who may be on the spectrum, and of course the way in which Plaisance Academy is placed to be able to assist students, and not just students but parents as well, so that it wouldn't be too burdensome, the weight on the shoulders, both for the children and the parents. It wouldn't be too heavy.
So usually when children come to you, I'm not a doctor, that diagnosis comes from a doctor. Right. So we can identify the behaviors of a child. We don't see, I should say, neurodivergent, meaning that the child learns differently, right? Their neurosenses are not like the normal child. You can say, do this, and the child does it. A child that is neurodivergent does things differently. They want to do it their way. Places come into play where we have the tools, right? All the fidgety tools that are soft, hard, make sounds that will help the child meet that inner needs, right? Most times their social emotional needs are not met. So that's where we come into play. We are into, how do you feel? The kids cry, and we grew up that way. Oh, you're a big boy, don't cry. Hi, Johnny, tell me what made you sad. Why are you crying, right? Don't tell him don't cry, because you're right away, you're negating his feelings. And that's what shut the child down, right? When you try to have the child talk about how they're feeling, they need a lot of attention. The child, the expression, the things that they say, right away, you discover, oh, I wanted this dinosaur. Oh, I wanted this toy. And Johnny took it from me. So John took it from me. So now he can express his feeling. You're attending to that feeling. The child is more likely to develop some normalcy because now someone is listening. I think the whole thing is listening to those children, because once the children we deal with that are neurodivergent in the US, it's all listening. You listen to these kids, and you learn what they like, you play to it, right? You cater. They can learn through their differences. Let's say we're talking about dinosaurs. We're teaching the whole class about dinosaurs. And out of the 15 children, 2 of them are neurodivergent. They want to do nothing with dinosaurs. They want to play with trucks. As an educator, and that's where I come in as a leader, it's my job to identify that to the teacher. You need to have something incorporated into your dinosaur story to incorporate trucks. So the child is learning while you're meeting that need. That is how you satisfy. Sometimes they call it play therapy, right? So the child is learning through play. The power of play therapy is meeting the child's needs where they are, right? And through incorporating your lesson, the child, for instance, a 3-year-old should be able to identify numbers, colors, and things like that. The child that is neurodivergent may not be able to do that. How do you incorporate that with the child? They like trucks? Okay, you're learning about red. Get a bunch of trucks, that color. Whatever it is they like, you just bring it into it. You'll be amazed how the child gravitates towards that lesson because now you have something of interest. They won't be running around, and your typical thing is they can't sit still. They are very the attention span is short. Whatever you're teaching has no interest for me. If you put something of interest, I will gravitate to you. So that is the technique we use that has worked, and I think if we're going to use that here and see what great results we can get from kids that learn differently. So that's why we say learning of a difference. Learn through play, social emotional learning, and I'm excited about this because I see the results. I mean, we've graduated over 1,500 students, and our first graduating class was in 2024, and they were all at the top of their classrooms, and the parents are so thankful. They're sending the other kids to our program, their grandkids. So we're really excited that it's a tried and proven process. So we're excited to have it started here.
Dr. Emanuel, you want to maybe add anything to that
Yes,
question
indeed.
and point, Doc?
Yes, indeed. No, she said graduating class. That's college, undergrad.
College, yeah.
So I wanted to make that distinction here. So obviously, DJ Hello Boy. That's it. Hello Boy.
Yes, Doc.
The
Yes.
issue here is that How many times you went through the school system, the teacher would just say, this one is lazy, this one is uninterested. I mean, there are other factors, such as the home you come from and all that. We're not dismissing this at all, right? But I think, again, the body of research over the last 4 decades or more, the last 5 decades, suggests that kids can learn differently and they can succeed and they can be productive. And I think that's where we're talking about, right? Let's make a difference. Not deviating from your program and not reducing your program. It's just that it's a different tone, keeping the quality of your program as high as well. Um, so really, the goal here, no matter what, is to produce, doctors and lawyers and engineers and dentists and astronauts and such. That is it. So talking about the first child who graduated from the program is our daughter, Sari, who is the vice captain of the Dominica women's football team, at least the last tour they had in Suriname. And she her degree is in engineering. And our second daughter is a senior doing neuroscience at Emory University in Atlanta. So again, and we had other kids like Julian doing aeronautics at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville. So again, we have the data, as I was talking to you earlier, as I was referring earlier to, this works. This is tried and true. And so we felt that, Joseph, you can always go back home again, right? No matter what, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
so we are back home again, making a difference, not just talking, if you know what I mean. That's
Yes.
another,
No, no,
that's another program, right?
I understand. I understand. I understand. It may seem as if my line of questioning may be challenging, but
That's good.
me personally, I would rather ask. I would ask challenging question to the doubtful listener, and I have a question. Um, this is the first time Plaisance Academy is going to be open here in Dominica. True.
True.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
You have been speaking about data which has been tried, tested, proven. Um, my question is this: we're in Dominica, geographically, culturally, educationally. You have to admit it is different. It is not as it is different, and I will use the word different than the US. In the US, of course, there are a bit more resources you can work with. Um, Somebody may say, well, okay, what works for one place may not work for here in Dominica or for somewhere else. What would you tell somebody who is they're listening and they may be watching their son or their daughter and they say, boy, they're talking like he's in America, and they talking like he's in America, and I can tell you, I can actually hear my listeners, the listeners, they're saying that, and they say, oh, but Dominica, that dear, they don't know the system, and Doc, I'm sure you may have, the colloquial terms, Marcia,
Yeah,
the
sure.
colloquial terms,
Absolutely.
but I want us to be able to use that sort of difference
Sure.
to be able to convince them, convert them, and
Right.
say, look, yes, okay, the data is where it is. What's going to convince them to show them that, hey, this can work in Dominica?
All right, let's start with what America has is just a different country. It's the resources. When you say resources, we're bringing what works. We're bringing the tools and the materials. Children are the product of the environment. If we expose them, the same products we're exposing them in the U.S., that's what we're exposing them to in there. What works is what we're bringing here. It's not the air that's making the kids different. Well, yeah, it might be the air and the environment, but I mean in terms of they have different things. The tools are what making the children think differently. we're bringing those tools. So the skeptics is like, oh, because it worked in America. Well, the same things we're using in America is what we're going to be using here.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's what is going to create those results. It's the tools that we're using. And the tools are basically, like I said, what we call toys, but learning instruments. We call them learning instruments. Different types of blocks, different types of magnets. The kids learning about just with paper and pencil. We love computers, but we are big on your fine motor skills, having kids draw blueprints of buildings, learn their numbers through actually doing things, learning about the sidewalks. The sidewalks is a simple machine. It has an incline. Anything that's over there, it's right here. And what we don't have, we're bringing it to make sure we get those results. Right. Yeah, so it's the tools.
So basically,
and I think Dominica is even riper for that because
Joseph,
we have a better environment.
We often have many spirited debates on that. I grew up in Lapland. My first school was a one-room school in Plaisance, Lapland. And I've met my colleagues over the years who went to very affluent schools in the suburbs of Washington and New York. And these folks have nothing over me, right? In terms of, did you read Odysseus? Did you read Homer? Did you read Bernard Shaw? Did you, do this? So I think the issue here is that we're preparing the kids for the world.
Okay.
I mean, that's the reality, We're too small. And they hopefully they'll return much younger than us and develop our island. Our island has to go through policy initiatives. That's what's going to take Dominica to the next level. And so, the skeptics are always going to be there. By the way, I really appreciate your questioning, Joseph. So I want you to continue in that line of questioning because it's important. I mean, we have a lot of naysayers out there.
Yeah.
We are from Dominica. I'm from Lapland. So believe me, I know what I'm talking about. I know what you're talking about. Marcia, she knows what she's talking about.
Yes.
And so this is it. But there are always going to be naysayers until the success story is. As a matter of fact, I would also tell you, though, that, we have more in Dominica than America.
Yes.
I mean, that's another story. That's another debate. That's another our programming. We have more. The world is turning towards the environment, right? Maybe what's happening in Washington, probably not really, but at the moment. But the world is turning toward, we have a planet in peril. Everything's into the environment. If you go to another COP conferences, you will see. So we have so much here. And the other thing is that we need to give our kids the confidence that you have so much in Dominica, so that when you go abroad, when you go to diaspora, nobody has nothing over you in terms of your confidence, in terms of your preparation. We are preparing the leaders for the world. And so, the news is always going to be there. That's a fact. You cannot change that. But again, we'll let time. The data will show that these folks are onto something. Learning it for difference.
I want to ask you all, what did it have to take? What did it take from you all? Of course, other than the resources, the tools, the fun in education that you all are going to be bringing to be able to open up. Was there any kind of dialogue with government officials, education officials? What did it take to be able to, let's say today we're on DBS and we can say Plaisance Academy is here. It's not opening, but it's here. What did it take? What was the process like?
Well, I've been toying with that for years. And every time I come, I talk to different people in the education realm, to, ministers, and I was like, I would really love to bring early childhood to the island. So this is not like just Johnny come lately. This has been 5 years in the making, and then we're just waiting for the right time. And to be honest, the right time just came to me a couple months ago. Oh my God. I was like, Lord, when are we going to do this? And I got so many signs, and I just been egged on. You got to do this. You got to do that. So when I spoke to people, they were like, we really need this difference in learning. That would be such a great addition to our education. The educational system, Dominic, is great. We just want to bring more joy and fun in doing it, and giving kids different experiences and build their confidence. So so that really kind of gave us the last push. This is definitely needed. And we're like, okay, now is the time. Let's just do it.
All right.
Yeah, and so for me, in addition that you always want to go back home, right? Not just talk. You want to go back home and you want to do something tangible. You want to do something sustainable, right? You want to do something transformative. And there's always this feeling that, yeah, I'm in Washington, I'm okay, but is Dominica okay? What's the best way you can help Dominica? Yeah, we can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk some more, Joseph, and talk some more, right? And so for me, well, I supported Chrissy when she had that idea. First of all, I enjoyed the name. I love the name Plaisance Academy. Anything in Lapland, I'll go for it, right? But in addition to that, seeing the success of our own children, okay, Sarah and Alana, that they are onto a path where they could again face the world, and they have wherever they're in Lapland or London or elsewhere. Daughter just came from Uzbekistan for 10 days with a delegation from a university. So what can we give back? I went to grammar school. What tangible thing can you give back? It's not easy. And as you would tell us, business in Dominica is not easy. Of course, there's a business aspect to this, but we're prepared to really go the long way with this. We're not just because we want to do this. We could make money. This is not about money, really. I mean, it is, but it's not really not about money. Because we could stay in America and expand into New York or elsewhere. But you want to return home, Joseph, no matter what, no matter how, you want to return home. And you can always return home again. There's something powerful and spiritual about that, knowing that the realities of home. So I'm not getting building a pie in the sky here for you, but home is home. Our home is not in Washington D.C. Although the definition of home is relative, it could be where you make money, where you have your big house. But my home is on the foothills of the Lapland Mountains. My home is along the banks of the Sarasara River. You know, Chris's home is along the banks of the Rosa River. That's home,
All
and
right.
that's powerful.
All right. Bringing a bit, just making it a more of a home experience for you.
Yes.
Absolutely,
All right.
absolutely,
All right.
absolutely.
I know I've been, like you say, trying to get the critics. Trying to, convert them. Because I can tell you, I've worked at the national radio station for, this is my third year at the national radio station, and it's a tough crowd. It's a very,
Indeed,
very,
indeed,
very
indeed.
tough crowd, and I'm sure Doc and you would know, of course, the caliber of listeners. Especially the age range of the listeners, it's a tough crowd. It's definitely a tough crowd, and my early questions was not meant in any way to shed any bad lights.
Oh, no.
Not in any way. So I don't want anybody to to think that in any way. Just to kind of break through the toughness of that crowd, and at least get people to be open to change, because change is here. Change is definitely here. So of course, a welcome change, definitely a welcome change. Let's come back to topography and geographically. Let's come back to Dominica. Speak about the physical location. Talk about where is Plaisance Academy going to be. So any one of you?
Sure.
Yes.
So Plaisance is going to be at 27 in this Independence Street, and it's interesting. Somebody said you have to give us name of buildings, not streets. So
this is like
so it's the former Parade of Fashion shoe store. So it's at 27,
okay.
the corner of Fields Lane and Independence Street, and we'll be open. One of the interesting things we'll be doing is also doing holiday time when you have Carnival and Creole Festival and people are looking for night care. We'll be also offering this. We'll have live webcams so parents can tune in and see where the children are learning, what's going on in the classroom. We have a parent communication app where parent gets real time what their children are learning, the project they worked on today. we'll be welcoming after school children, like parents looking for somewhere for the children in the afternoon. We'll be helping them with their homework. They can see what's going on. They'll get, actual pictures of what their child is doing when their child is done with their homework. Even helping them to support if they, whatever it is that they're doing in school, help maybe push them along the way to be better prepared for the next day when they're at school. And when they're at a mastery level, we'll be working with them on project activities, because we also want to go beyond what they're learning. The whole thing, like I said, is to give the kids different experiences. So we are big on that. And so that's place that's it has a lot in store for, just creating this whole plethora of activities. We're going to be doing languages, Spanish, French, Creole. We'll be doing also activities like Zumbini. Zumbini is Zumba for children, yoga, soccer, of course, fencing. And eventually we just got someone who offered to come and do golfing with the children. And we're excited about that. So that definitely we're going to explore. So more and more, as we talk about the school, we get so many people that are interested. They like the idea of kids learning, active learning, right? Learning through play. So, so that's Plaisance. Plaisance is going to be a joyful place to learn.
And of course, once again, we want to start to sort of emphasize a bit more. Plaisance Academy, the physical location, the street address is 27 Independence Street.
Yeah.
For those, of course, I mean, I don't think anybody should not know the former Parade of Fashion.
Right.
I don't think so. Where else can we?
Most recently, it was like the CP Pharmacy was also there.
Yes. So it's downstairs or upstairs?
And it's also next to the newest beautiful building in Roseau. Close to the Credit Union, one block around that building.
So just a little further up than the Credit Union.
Yes.
Okay.
Further up from the Credit Union. Yes.
All right. What is the color of the building?
It's green and white.
Okay. So
green and white. Yes.
Just Credit Union, the main road coming into Roseau,
right?
A little after the Credit Union,
after the new building is right there. Yes.
So Credit Union, then the new building, then Plaisance Academy.
Right. Yes.
All right. So I think for everybody, I think Doc, I think we should be able to follow those directions. At least those sound simple enough.
Or across from the Sun newspaper, across the street from the Sun newspaper. Right.
Yes. Okay. Oh, from Charlie. Okay. Across. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I believe if I'm not mistaken, the former, and I'm roping in DBS into here. I believe the former sales office of DBS Radio was on the opposite, 2 buildings down, up on the opposite side, but 2 buildings down. I believe there's a Chinese restaurant there right now. So Plaisance is opposite the Chinese restaurant or the Chinese takeaway, just 1 building up, something like that. I think yes, something like that. So I guess maybe if you maybe want to grab a quick lunch or something. So yes. What is the setup going to be like? We've not opened to the public, but you mentioned about opening Monday coming.
Yeah, an open house so people can come and see what it's like.
What is it gonna be like? Somebody like me, a parent listening, and they're not sure what's been happening. It's been challenging for their son, for their daughter, and they're here and they want to try something different, and they want to give Plaisance such as what is it going to be like on Monday for a parent coming into Plaisance? What's the setup going to be like?
Yeah, so it's set up by centers, what we call centers. So there is a reading area. There's what we call dramatic play. Dramatic play is basically imitating life. That's where a child pretty much formulates their ideas. You have block play, you have cards, you have street signs, you have connectors. We also have the area where you can get very creative. We call our arts area. We have our technology area where the children can do, create. Our technology will be limited to like 30 minutes 3 times a week, where the children are actually working on learning things to enhance whatever it is, wherever they are. Okay. So we have areas: reading, dramatic play, cozy area. One of our favorite things, or my favorite thing, cozy area. When we talk about the neurodivergent children that are on the spectrum, they need that space where they can just be to themselves, right? This is where we call our reflection area. So we have in every room, we have a reflection area, we have a dramatic area. Dramatic area is big because that's where ideas are formulated and created. And then we have a reading area. Those are like the three essential when you talk about reading, math, and language. Those we have, every classroom has that component, even for the babies, reading, a cozy area. At that point, the children are climbing, so we have climbers, so they can climb up on things. We have where they can, pretty much the child can create self-help. The chair sizes and the table sizes are the children's size. So a 1.5-year-old or 1-year-old can sit on a chair with minimal help. So all we have, based on the child's developmental milestone, we have the eye in life. We have that set up in every classroom for that age group. Yes.
All right. It sounds different.
Yes, it's very different
than the normal setup
Yeah.
that we know of or we were used to here in Dominica. Somebody listening right now, they want to contact you.
Yes.
Can they go down to Plaisance right now? Is there somebody right now who may be able to assist? Is there can we start to give out the information to the public so that they can pick their interest, come on in, register if they can. We'll talk about registration in a little bit, not too long from now. But how are they able to contact, get more information?
So they can call us at 767-235-2135 or send us an email at plaisanceacademy@gmail.com. So once they do that, we capture the information, we send them what we call an inquiry form. So the inquiry form tells us about their child, right? What are they interested in? How old their child is? What are they looking for? Because we have it catered to the standard 821, 824, 826. So parents, depends on what their work day is like, they can choose, right? If they want after hours, they just need to give us we need at least a cohort of 5 children to do like an after hour. If they want from 6 o'clock p.m. to 10 a.m. the next day, we can do almost like a 24-hour service, overnight service, if people want to go out and make sure their child is in a safe environment. And that's why we have the live webcam, because it's very, especially nighttime, for us as owners, we can tune in and see what's going on. Every room we can tune in wherever you are, as a parent, wherever you are in the world. If you have mom here and they want to see what their grandbaby is doing, they can tune in and see what their child is doing during the day. They have an inquiry, they can send us an email. It comes into our parent communication app, so we can communicate with them and say, oh yeah, I see that, we will take care of it. So if people are interested, we're doing personal tours. When we have the open house, people can see the place, because it's hard to give people always how much it is. I said, giving you the price is irrelevant because you don't know what you're getting, right? You need to come in, see what you're getting, and then we ask you, how much would you pay for that service? Because if I give you the price, you're like, okay, so you have to see what the service is, and then from there we take it. So you can inquire, like I said, at 767-235-2135, or send us an email at plaisanceacademy@gmail.com, and then we'll set up a personal tour. In terms of registration, we're still waiting to finalize licensing. So once they give us that, the goal is hopefully to start when school starts.
Okay.
So once we get that, once parents come, they tour in, we'll say, okay, we're just accepting applications, and then we'll give you the dead set date.
Right. Doc, I'm going to rope you in. I want to ask you a specific question. And please, I'm not mocking or disrespecting you, all right, Doc? But I want you to spell Plaisance for us, because somebody listening will be like Playsance. But I think Plaisance from La Plaine, as you described it, the beautiful. How you beautifully described it for us. I doubt it's spelled like that, Doc. So just to get it from the authentic Plaisance man himself, If you can, and again, I'm not asking that in any bad way. All right, just to make sure that people taking down the email, they take down the
Oh,
correct
that's correct.
email, the correct and the right email.
So, Joseph, I was just about to say that when my turn came in. So it seems like no wonder you're one of the hottest DJs on island, because you and I were thinking alike. I was just about to spell out Plaisance, and then one other thing before I spell out Plaisance, the questions you asked were very poignant, and we really appreciate it. So I don't think you don't. You actually you are, because as an interviewer you have to ask hard questions. You can't be sending softballs all the time. You have to ask, and we really appreciate it because you deal with the reality. So anyway, so Plaisance,
Mhm.
it's Plaisance,
Mhm.
Plaisance Academy at gmail.com. So thanks for that. I was just about to do that. And also, I wanted to say one other thing, Joseph.
Mhm.
Um, so whether you're in Plaisance, France, or Plaisance, Louisiana, or Plaisance, La Plaine, or whether you're in La Plaine or London or Roseau in the French Riviera, you can tune in to see what your child is doing. And that is the big difference. And we talk about how education has changed. Because if you feel good that your child is productive, your child is being attended to, again, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a community to educate a child. And that's how the research is showing, and all the research bears this out, right? And then preparing kids for the world. That is what it is. We're going to be the best and brightest and to compete with the best and brightest, whether they're in America, Australia, or elsewhere. The other thing I wanted to say, as a dentist, I've worked with kids throughout my 30 plus year career. We have a dental assessment form. So when your kids come in less than 2 months, they will get a dental exam, because we
Yeah.
believe in bright smiles ensure bright futures. There's a research that shows that people with bright smiles have more confidence and to move forward. And we believe in that. And the research bears this out again. We're talking about data. So I'll be in the island given, and then we have portable units. Obviously, we have to go
Okay.
through the authorities to get licensing.
Yes.
But this is
Yes.
what we are talking about. We don't want kids to be in there with toothpicks, hurting. The issue here is learn, and learning is fun. And again, why Dominica? Can't we do that in America and make money? But it is really about money all the time. Yes, money is good. I want a jet so I could fly to Dominica anytime, Joseph. But that's not the issue. The issue is that America, Dominica educated us and sent us away. It's true we have to do the rest. We have to struggle. It hasn't been easy, but we've achieved some measure of success. We've made some strides, and I think it's time to return home to deal with it all. So your questioning was just on point. So I want you to know that. I'm not quite sure
That's,
Marcia, has the
Absolutely.
same sentiments as well, and also your listeners as well.
yes. I really do. I
Very good.
really do hope the listeners, and not just the listeners, but because we're on radio, we're on TV, we're
Mhm.
on the two platforms, we're on YouTube right now. So later on, you can go to
All right.
YouTube and share
Right.
it to your
Oh,
friends
absolutely.
and family. I'm heavy on YouTube.
Okay.
Not so much Facebook,
Okay.
but I'm much heavier on the YouTube. Um, Share it. You as a parent, you as an aunt, an uncle, a godmother, godfather, boy, you watching and you say, you know you hear difficulties with your niece, your nephew, your godchild, and send it to them, see what's up. Now I want to as we kind of conclude, um as you've been saying, Doc, it takes a village to raise a child, and you've said so a number of times on the broadcast. Me growing up here in Dominica, going to school, yes, I did see that, but not but also at a certain time in Dominican life, and a lot of people are gonna get vexed with me for saying this. That was literally thrown out. The village basically just doesn't care. Sometimes we even have parents who, you know, and I will just leave it at dot dot dot. obviously it's and Doc and Marcia, it's a reality. And a lot of people are going to get vexed with me for saying that. It's a Dominican reality. It's a straight Dominican reality. Um, Obviously, parents, as part of the village, takes a village to raise a child, will have to be involved. It's not just, okay, you know what? Let me check up on my son. I can, like you said, you bring in this wonderful facility of, I can log on and I can watch my son, my daughter, and Granny can watch her children and so on. But there would have to be expectations from parents as well.
Yes.
Cannot just be just come and, hey, I leave my child there with you, and yeah, but what all you there for? And believe me, and I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher for 12 years. All right, I'm a teacher at your rival, the academy, the St. Mary's Academy, Doc. So and I get that a lot. As a teacher, I get that a lot, and you don't really have that much of the cooperation with parents, but Plaisance is of course different.
Yes.
Obviously, there's going to be the need for parental involvement. A parent with the mindset thinking, hey, yeah, I can just leave my child there for, and I'm saying so in layman, in Dominican English. I want you to speak to them of the mentality of why Plaisance is not just the place where, yeah, I can just leave my child here. Please speak to them about that.
Thank you. We are big on parent engagement. It has to be the right fit. I don't care if you can afford it or not. Our big thing is you have to be in tune with our philosophy, right? It's family. You have to be respectful of the teachers, of administrators, anybody on the team, right? You have to be willing to be involved in your child's education. We speak especially with the neurodivergent children. It takes, when you talk about the village, we need mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, whoever is involved in that child. Our intake form is very extensive. And on the few tours we've done, we tell the parents, yeah, this form is going to take, you can't do it in 5 minutes, because we get into who is in that child's life, right? Because it's not like you drop your child and it's the teacher's job, it's their job, I'm paying them. No, you have to be involved, right? If we tell you that your child needs this extra help, you have to be willing to work with us, otherwise it's not a good fit. We're big on fit because we want this, like we said, joyful. For things to be joy, you will have little hiccups, but we have to be able to work it out. You have to be able to say, oh yeah, I need more help. Not like, it's not my problem, I'm paying you for this, handle it. Nope, your money can't solve this issue. Your time is what's going to solve this issue. So definitely we're going to big on parental engagement. That's going to be a big thing for us. And I know, as you say, as we kind of wrap up, I just want to give like a whole summary of what Plaisance is learning with a difference, right? So here at Plaisance, we are a parent-teacher partnership, right? When you come to a program, there are a series of things we're going to have to learn about your child and your child's environment to make sure our resources that we are going to expose your child to is going to be supported not only at school, but also at home, right? That's how it works. It has to be a partnership. It has to be a partnership. So here you will find success if you're willing to work with us on the implementations or the necessary things that your child requires, right? And that would involve mom, dad, whoever is involved in the child's life. And this we find out from before we can accept your child into the program. Especially if your child is neurodivergent, it can be, oh, I finally find somewhere to do this. No, mom. No, we find a partner. Tell us about what your child does at home. Tell us how you handle when your child throws tantrum. Tell us what you do when your child doesn't want to play with other kids or your child hurts another child. What do you do? If I send him to the room, no, you can't send him to what do you send him to the room is not going to fix the problem. It's perpetuating it. You're not addressing the issue. We want people that are going to be confronted and deal with the issue at hand. Yeah, so when we talk about a village that works in harmony, a village that is willing to do the tough work, a village that is really to go through the journey in the difficulty to get the results. So that's what we're doing. We are partnering with families. We're partnering in the development of their child. So yeah, that's what we do. One of the things at Plaisance, we focusing on the whole child. And when we talk about the whole child, it's not just how smart, because most of the children that are neurodivergent or aka autistic, they're very bright. So that social emotional component is missing. That nutrition is missing. So one of the things we'll be offering as part of our program is nutrition. Very big. We'll be using a lot of local resources. Whatever is in season is what we'll be preparing. We have a personal chef that will be preparing meals fresh daily for the children, so they'll be eating fresh. Because also, as a health professional, nutrition is very dear to my heart. I believe what you put in is what you get out. So we think of putting in good nutrients into children that helps the child's behavior. Less sugar, less salt, less of this processed thing. A lot of the stuff is going to be the natural thing. Dominica is the right place for this, where we grow a lot. We'll be cooking the banana and stay away from the pasta and the rice. We'll be doing a lot of use the local resources. They will be getting that, but on a lesser extent, and using more local resources. Giving kids fresh fruits and vegetables rather than canned stuff, rather than the sweet pops and the juices. I think everybody think they can buy apple juice in the store because they can afford it. We got local lemons, we got local oranges, we got local pineapples. That is more nutritious than the stuff that's in a bottle that's been sitting there for the last 2 years. So we'll be using a lot of local resources. No juices. All their sugar will be coming from the natural fruits that's in season, and water. The power of water. We got 365 rivers of those. We'll be serving a lot of that, and local fruits and vegetables. So that'll be part of the Plaisance Academy. Partnering with parents, healthy food and nutrition, play-based joy, just excitement in kids wanting to go to school and to learn.
Doc, you want to chime in on that point as well too?
I don't know if I can back up Marcia, Marcia, I've known her for the last 30 years, so I can tell you. But I think at the end of the day, really, just in the interest of time, this is the new Dominica we want to create. We have to do something to Dominica. And, Joseph, you and I go, we're going, right? So, if I can say that, you'll have to allow me to say that. Yes, but we need our new generation. We have to do something, and we have to do something tangible. And education is about transformation, is about sustainability. Where we going to go in the next 40 years with Dominica? You and I will be old men, right? And I think, what is the legacy? What is Dominica? We cannot continue going in the same direction we are going. Something has to give. Now, mind you, this is by no means saying that the institutions we have are not doing their jobs. I'll be remiss to say that. We're just saying that based on our experience in a tough competitive market like Washington, D.C., where we've achieved success with all races, all ethnicities, we think that we can take that model and bring it to Dominica. Yes, it's a tougher market. And this is and then home is home. Remember that home is home, right? You can always go back home again, no matter what. And so we want to thank you for a very spirited interview, and we appreciate the hard questions. We'd love to come again 3-4 months from now and say, Joseph, this is where we are. So I hope you'll give us the opportunity.
Well, I don't want you to come back in 3 or 4 months. I want at least one full academic year to pass, and then I can say, well, Doc, the last time you were here, I was really shooting down some questions to you, and you were able to handle the toughness. And what has happened since then until now? Give us the success stories. That is more where I would want after year one. Yes. When you are let's say moving the 1-year-olds to 2-year-old classes, and the 2-year-olds to the 3-year-olds, and the 3 years to the 4s, and hopefully by then, at least for now, you all indicated earlier on, it's for now, it's 1 to 5,
yes,
with the intention, of course, to move from 6 to 12,
yes,
quote unquote, like at primary
The
school level.
right.
Yes.
Yes.
So maybe Doug and Marcia, next time around, or maybe even next year, we may be speaking of the Plaisance primary school. You never know. So that's where I want to shoot. I don't want to give it 3 months and then say, well, okay, because education, it can start off exciting. Me as a teacher for 12 years, it can start off with a student exciting, and the student can get bored. Even the teacher can get comfortable. But I don't feel that is going to be the way with Plaisance. I think within 3 months, something different might come up.
That's right.
And then
That's right.
maybe in another 3 months again, something, just when you're okay, I'm comfortable, boom, there's
That's right.
something exciting comes up again. So
Yes.
we can say a year.
Yes.
We can say 1 year.
That's
235 2135. That's the number. 235 2135. That's called. Does it have WhatsApp on it? I know WhatsApp is the popular thing.
Well, I know this is local. If they want to do WhatsApp, they can do WhatsApp or
Okay,
local. Yes,
okay.
either way. Yeah, straight off or WhatsApp.
Okay, and Plaisance, Plaisance Academy. I'm not sure if Doc, should I spell academy for them? I'll probably do it. Plaisance. I'm gonna start it again. Plaisance, Plaisance Academy at gmail.com. So any one of those.
Yusuf, next time I come to Dominica, I'll take you to Plaisance. How about that?
Well, I think based on the how we spoke this afternoon, I think I may just hopefully I will try to make some time. By the way, Monday, what time is the open house on Monday?
House, yes. So we have from 10 to 2 to accommodate people's schedule, 10 to 2, and then from 5 to 6
so
in the
from
evening.
10 to 2
and 5 to 6.
5 to 6. So
in
if
the
you
evening.
can,
or 4 to 6 after work, people want to
Okay,
stop
yes,
by.
yes,
10
yes.
to 2 like during the lunchtime,
yes.
and 4 to 6 after work.
Okay.
Yes. So Monday will be open for that. Yes.
Doc, anytime we may be physically seeing you here on island, any chance we maybe seeing you soon?
Yeah. I'll be catching an outbound flight in the next 24 hours.
Okay, all right.
So
all right.
So you have 2 invitations. One to Plaisance Academy on 27 Independence Street, and one to Plaisance in Lap Lane.
All right. Yes. I think Uncle Williams may be very happy to hear I'm coming to Lapland soon. I think Uncle Williams will be happy. Yes. All right, Doc. Thank you very much for joining us from your end, and Marcia, thank you so much for coming on for this very informative time right here on Drive Time. Plaisance Academy. I'm gonna repeat the numbers one more time. 235 2135. Email plaisanceacademy@gmail.com. PLAISANCE academy@gmail.com. Any final words between the two of you, Marcia or Doc? Any quick words we want to wrap up with?
Absolutely. So we're looking forward to parents looking for their children after school, looking for healthy. Oh, I forgot to mention we have a playground, where we do fun stuff. We'll be carrying that live so they can get a sneak peek, or those who cannot come in and see the place live, we will actually carry it live, and they can see what it looks like. We'll be offering after school programs, so give us a call at 235-2135 or plaisacademy@gmail.com, and we look forward to welcoming the public to see it and to signing up as soon as our license is good to go. So thank you for having us here, and we are very excited to bring Learning for Difference to Dominica. And like Joseph said, in a year's time we can talk already about the success of the children that are part of the program.
So yes, so I look forward to seeing you, Joseph, in La Plaine, and I look forward to talking with you a year from now. Some harder questions. So
I doubt the questions would be hard. I very much doubt it'd be. I sort of got the hard questions out so that moving forward it's not comfortable. You don't want to get too comfortable, because a lot of times we've being comfortable, you get complacent.
Yes.
So I think from here it would be more progressive, right? Conversationally progressive, approach to things.
and that's the goal, right? That's the goal. Yes. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for being here on DBS Radio, and it's been Plaisance Academy. Once again, I'm going to repeat the numbers one more time: 235-2135, or email Plaisance Academy. I'll spell it out: PLAISANCE Academy @gmail.com. I think our editor, Mr. Matthew, I think you all picked his interest. He's been around for some time, so I think he may be considering sending one of his young ones there soon. So yes. Doc, thank you. Marcia, thank you. Looking forward to the open day on Monday. Yes. And then, of course, we move progressively forward from there. Yeah. Thank you once again. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Good. Take care.
You too.
All right.
Why miss a moment when there is DBS? From anytime, anywhere, stream our live coverages of functions, events, and funeral services as we capture every moment with precision and care. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube and Facebook pages at DBS Radio.